We're live. Let me see. If it ain't on my phone, we ain't there. Let's see. And just like that, guys, we are back. We are back, man. It is I. It is us.
It is we.
It is we.
Yeah.
I am your host, BearFeezie. We are live from Love Deposit Studios. This is my Marley's that I love so much, that I respect so much, and I appreciate you for being here with me.
I'm so glad to be here.
I thank you so much, man.
Feel special.
This is Speak Your Feelings with BearFeezie, season 2. Guys, we're on episode 9. You know what I mean? I'm going for 10. I'm going for 10, guys. Give me, oh, I thought my volume was down. Give me a quick second. Let me share. If you are tuned in, please share. Get it to some folks that needs us. Is my audio right, JoJo? Get it to some folks that needs to hear some news that they can use. I'm going to share it to my good people. Give me a quick second. I feel like this is going to be a great show. This is going to be a great show. I feel like it's going to be one of my best. And I'll tell you guys why in just a minute. Because it's about me. That's why I'm not going to hold that from you guys. This show is about me. This show is the show you guys have been waiting on, whether you knew it or not.
Their whole life.
Their whole lives. I am the guy that you should have been known. And you know what?
What?
They say everybody gonna get the chance to hear about them before they leave. And guys, go ahead and tune in. Because this is your chance. You may not get this chance again. Let's see. Got some pretty cool groups that I'm going to share to real fast before I get into my show. First, like we always do, I like to do a recap of my last show. Just in case you missed it, it is available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube. Look up Speak Your Feelings with BearFeezie and you can check it out, guys. I am here in the Love Deposit Studios here in Uptown. If you want to do what I'm doing, if you want these lights on you, you want a crew to make sure you're looking as handsome as I am.
If you want JoJo,
you can inbox my guy, Uncle JoJo, and he may have some time for you if I haven't booked it yet. He may have some time for you. Nah, I'm sure he does. If he doesn't, he'll make it, guys. This is the place where I love to be. I look forward to coming here every week. Because I love talking. I love talking. Not just about anything, though. Honestly, guys, I can get up here and talk about nothing.
Absolutely nothing.
And talk about nothing, but I choose to actually make it a uplifting series, some informing series, a self-developing is how it's described if you look me up on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Just some good news that's helpful in developing not only ourselves, but once we develop ourselves, I feel like that'll definitely help the community. You know, people who you live with, people who you live around. So that's what I do, man. Is try to get my people to rise above the occasion, or rise to the occasion, or above. Sometimes you got to be a little bit higher. But I feel great. I feel great today, and I'm just talking until I get through sharing, and then I get into today's recap from episode 8. I love the title of this show.
Because it's the title of your album.
Yes, ma'am. This is okay. We're here. We're here. Okay. Again, I am BearFeezie. I appreciate everybody for tuning in today. This is Speak Your Feelings with BearFeezie. I have a special. Are you a guest or a host on this one?
I think I'm a host.
You're a host.
That's what I was told.
Okay. I have a co-host. This is my first co-host. I've had a few guests. I've never had a co-host.
Okay.
This is my first
Let's
co-host,
go
my
with
Aunt Marlis. And this is going to be a great show, guys. I'm nervous. I am nervous, guys.
Is that new?
No, it's not new.
Oh, you're nervous
It's
every
not.
time?
I don't know. I've been getting away from nervousness a little bit. I'm familiar. I'm at home here. But when them lights come on and you know it's no turning back, it's not a cut.
Redo.
It's not
Right.
that.
It's going to be whatever it is.
I got to roll on with it. So I do get a little nervous. But I am a little nervous today because, okay, let me do my recap. Last show, man, was Am I My Brother's Keeper? Episode 8. It is available on YouTube. I haven't uploaded it to Spotify and Apple Podcasts as of yet. I've been slacking. There's some things that the great BearFeezie has not done. Yes, guys. I know that's surprising, but I am slacking. Jojo, you all right?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. But last show, Am I My Brother's Keeper? I had my great guy Bombada here, president, creator, and brand ambassador of YK1K, the biggest clothing brand in Dallas. Period. But the reason I named it Am My Brother's Keeper is because we can't be afraid. We can't be scared to uplift our brothers. We can't be scared if we're able to put them in a better position. If they're doing something that we love, we can't be scared to, give them a shout out, give them our platform, help them rise, help them increase their sales, help them in any way we possibly can. We can't be afraid to do that. We should want to do that. We should love to do that. We should love each other as we love ourselves. You know what I mean? So I wanted to make sure that I have a brand myself. If you want to shop with your brother, you can go to goodcakeent.com. But every time I see him, he says, bro, if you need anything, I'm up here. Let me know. I can help you. You know what I mean? And I appreciate him being that, because a lot of people get information and they want to withhold it. You know what I mean? They want to keep you away from it. They haven't used it yet. You know what I mean? So with respect and the love that I have from Bombada, and I like his clothes, honestly. He has some dope clothes, some dope samples that come out. I was like, you know what? If I can get them on her, let's get them on her. If I can get them in front of more people that watch me, let's get them on her. And so I had him on here. So the reason I am my brother's keeper is because I am my brother. I got to look at him like I look at me. I got to want him in position the same way I want myself in position, guys. So that was episode 8. Check it out on YouTube. I will get on my job and upload it to Apple Podcasts and Spotify as soon as I can. With that being said, this young lady that I have to my left is my Aunt Marlis, that I love and respect so much, that I appreciate so much. I guess first I should tell a story on how you became my aunt.
I think we should tell that one. I think we should start right there.
This is actually my high school principal. And you know what? In high school, I was voted most likely to succeed.
It's true.
And
and you're succeeding.
And I'm succeeding. And one thing about success is what it means to you. You know, what are you doing? Are you happy? Are you functioning like you would like to? And I don't know many people that can get their high school principal to come on their show and participate in what they have going on.
My kids are like, I don't even know my principal. I hate my principal. I'm like, what kind of principal you got? I love my kids.
Exactly. So
you're the best.
So I'm successful, guys.
Yeah.
I am. Wow. Okay. I'm not a millionaire yet. But that's not success.
That's not.
It's not. And I want to start with there. I I'm gonna start there with
Okay.
success.
Let's do that.
Even though this is your show. This is actually her show.
He called me and told me this was my show. And so I'm just sitting here waiting for my moment.
Appreciate you.
Go ahead.
And your patience
Mhm.
on Marley's. Because I think you're the epitome of success.
Oh,
Because ever since I met you, your spirit, your smile, your love for me made me want to be better. You know what I mean? It's like, and I appreciate you taking me under your wing. Some people are the teacher's pet. I was the principal's pet. The principal had love for me. She had respect for me.
yeah.
And I appreciate that. Like, you know, because like a lot of times I'm going on in life and it's some people that I don't want to let down.
And
you
what
know?
grade was it? What grade did you
11th?
come to our school? 11th?
11th
Okay.
grade.
Yeah, I thought so.
11th grade. And so I guess we can start with you. You're not a principal.
Not anymore.
You're
Not
a
anymore,
principal.
but I'm still in education. So this is year 30
Wow.
for me that I've been in education, and I want to speak my feelings.
Okay, let's go. Thank you.
So let's just start there.
Okay, how do you feel on Marley?
I feel like watching you on your journey, like from 11th grade until now, has been one of the greatest joys of my life.
Thank you.
You have made me so proud. Just the man you've become, the father,
I appreciate
the
that.
leader. I mean, you out here saying, I'm my brother's keeper and I want to help somebody else and I want to put somebody on my platform.
That's me.
I could not be prouder of you. So I want to speak my feelings. I want to start out with that because I don't know how long this thing lasts.
It's
So
your show.
I just want to put that out there
Thank you.
up front that I'm so proud of you and you give me just all the happy principal feels
Thank you so much.
every single day.
I appreciate that. And
Every day.
And I surround myself with people who have those same goals and that same way. Like my guy JoJo, this is the Love Deposit Studio. When I met JoJo, he was giving children shoes and he uses his birthday to get a lot of donation. He gives the neighborhood gas. You gonna do that this year, JoJo? That's gonna be a high costing birthday this year.
We're trying to get to 10,000. We're trying to
Okay.
make this a fifth annual.
Wow.
Yeah, so I appreciate that. I pride myself on that. And I appreciate you seeing that in me.
And so I guess what I'm trying to understand about you is you kind of almost though have two different personas.
I do.
So let's talk about that.
Gemini.
I am a Gemini.
Let's talk about that.
Okay.
So you were that kid at school who was super smart, polite, on time, good attendance,
Yeah.
no problems.
Yeah.
But then I heard out in them streets you had something else going on
Yeah.
from time to time. So was that like, I mean, do you have is that code switching? Like what is that? What's up with that? Talk to me about that.
I appreciate that.
Now let me one caveat. So the
Yeah.
school we were at was a school that was for kids who were at risk.
Yeah. Charter school.
So maybe
Yeah.
having some difficulty, might not graduate. So just
Yeah.
being there meant that there
Yeah.
might have been some
Let me
problems.
start there. I ain't gonna start there because the reason I was there every day is because I felt the connection with you. It was some friends there that you know, Will was there, my bro Sheldon was there, Kirk was there. You know what I mean? So we had a brotherhood. Like we was my close friends.
I almost brought your prom picture.
I'll put it in the comment.
Yeah, do that.
Yeah, and the reason I showed up willingly because
Yeah.
I had love there and I felt the love, and I think because the reason I had trouble at my old school is because it was just a disconnect.
The bigger school.
Yeah, if you don't care, you don't give a damn. I don't mean disrespect. I cuss now. I'm more.
What?
What
What
you don't care,
Not my baby.
I don't care. You know what I mean? Like in so many words. Like if you, and yeah, I didn't feel none of my, but that's how it is in public schools. A lot of times, it's too many people.
Is that it?
It's a lot of folks, and
That was gonna be one of my questions
yeah.
was, because I am still an educator, I always wonder, like, what are we doing wrong? Like, what could we do better? for kids who are not doing well in school? Like, how can we really make it happen?
Yeah, it's a lot of people and it's hard. Like me, I always felt I was deserving of the light. I was deserving of the attention.
You
what I
are.
mean? I was deserving of a chance to speak. You know what I mean? I was deserving to be heard. And so you in a class with 30 kids, your grades better be super high. You know what I mean?
And your grades were high.
Yeah.
Now that's something I don't do. People on this show, do they know that you were like that guy who had really good grades? You had good grades, especially in math and language. And so any kind of test, you would just come in, take the STAR test, tax test. You just
tester. I won a bike one time. In the 4th grade, I had the highest test out of the boys. Back then it was a toss test.
And so you were a good tester. You were really smart at school.
And then too, my environment. Everybody was doing their own thing. Like before I get to school, you know, nobody's dropping me off at school. My mama is at work. My dad is in prison.
This when you were little.
Yeah.
Okay.
And this is in high school.
Okay.
Or this is school period. When I go back, you know what I mean? So
because by the time you got to our school, I don't know how you were getting to school.
Yeah, by the time I got to 11th, 12th grade, I had moved out. My mama had. That's what I say. I just wanted. At that point, I felt like I had to graduate. And the school that I came to, you and Miss Trigg, you know what I mean? Y'all was like my aunts at school. You know what I mean? Like y'all was, you know what I mean? I could relate to y'all better.
So we were going to talk about that.
So I had a question. What he just said.
Okay.
Do you think that still exists in the school system today? Whereas he felt that love of an aunt, that nurturing, you know what I mean? Do you think that that's still specifically in our school district, in the city?
I think it does. And maybe I'm just being hopeful. There's always that person and there's always that kid. And so one of the things, for instance, in my district, we talk a lot about mentoring and we try to find a kid, at least one kid a year. You may not connect with every kid, but you can find that one kid. And so I want to believe that does still exist. It really exists, especially in sports. It's weird that we were able to do it at a school where there was no sports.
Yeah, true. The coach. Yeah, you always.
I mean, it's kind of crazy.
You're doing something that you love in sports, like that you want to do, that you consider fun.
And that's why my kids are like, he connected with the principal? That ain't right. I'm like, we had a great time. I mean, you would come in, eat my lunch, and I'd be like,
and I felt love, and I felt appreciated. I felt like I can do something. I felt like I had to do something, like I said, to show you that, you know, I was a great guy. I'm not a mess up. I'm not gonna go to the pen and like, you know, like I definitely had opportunities too. You know what I mean? Growing, and the reason I called you and asked you to come on here is because one of my friends, he just got out the pen and he called me and he had a question and I answered it. I'm like, that's deep. I'm like, bro, you need to do you an interview on there. And then I'm like, yeah, you want to come on there and ask me some questions? He was like, man, I'm gonna hassle with you.
So then you called me.
And then I called my aunt.
Okay, got it.
I called y'all like, man, you've known me since I was a child.
So let her interview then. Come on.
Right. Okay. I have whole questions. Okay. So, I didn't meet you as BearFeezie. So I don't know if the people know your whole real action.
Do you know my name? What's my name?
Well, how you go? I know your name, but I don't know if they know your name.
Let's introduce me.
I would like to introduce the real Keishan. Is that how you pronounce it?
Yes, ma'am.
Haskins.
Yes, ma'am.
BearFeezie is a character that you've
I'm
created.
Yes.
And so you told me that your name, you did tell me that people called you Bear because you were chubby.
Yep.
I think that's what you said.
Because I always been chubby. But I got the name, but I got the name. My name was Sugar Bear from the cereal Golden Crisp. Square business. My name was Sugar Bear from the cereal Golden Crisp. I haven't ate those in a long time. but when you going outside in the projects,
And people are calling you Sugar Bear.
You drop the bear.
The
You
sugar.
drop the sugar.
Uh-huh.
And then my name just became Bear. And then time went on, they started calling me BearFeezie.
And what's the Feezi? I never did really get that.
In the city, it was these rappers, DSR, and well, Snoop Dogg basically came up with the jizzle and the izzle for sizzle. And these rappers called DSR, Tum Tum, Fat Bastard, Lil Ronnie, they started calling each other Tum Teezy. They started calling each other, and they was like a heavy thing growing up. Yeah.
For Sheezy.
And so my name just became BearFeezie.
Okay, but I always called you Haskins.
Yeah.
Okay. So I can call you Haskins on this show.
Yeah.
All right. So we're gonna talk about how I became your aunt, because I remember you coming in my office and we were just chit-chatting. You were like, "Can I call you Aunt Marlis?" And you remember what I said?
No.
I said no.
You did?
I did.
Oh.
I said, no, you may not. I said, you can call me Aunt Marlis when you graduate. You don't remember that?
I don't.
Because you never called me Aunt Marlis in school.
Oh, yeah.
No, you had to call me by the proper school name.
Okay.
Yeah, and I told you when you graduate, you could start calling me Aunt Marlis, and that's when you did. Because we said we didn't want the other kids, feeling some type of way in the school. We wanted to respect their feelings. Yeah.
Okay, I can see that, and I can see that, driving me like, okay, this lady is a nice lady. I can see that putting me in a mindset. You gotta graduate. You know what I mean? Because like you say, at that school, that was almost it. If you mess up here, you finna get a GED. Which if you getting your GED, hey,
respect.
I applaud you too.
Respect.
But hey, I was on my way there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's our biz.
So we always like to meet the parents, right? And so I remember asking you about your family. I remember wondering, from time to time, because you were, like you said, in the 11th grade, living alone, and I was confused. Yeah. And so I remember asking you about your family, and you told me a really interesting story.
And I told you the truth.
And I didn't, I'll be honest with you, I didn't, it was so crazy. I don't think I believed it.
Yeah.
Have you told the people that story?
I believe I have, episode 1 or 2.
Well, we in season 2, episode 8, so we need to revisit that. You tell. I want you to tell that story about the parents.
I told the complete. Did I just moved out my mama's house, or did I give my adoption story that I was adopted?
You didn't. I don't think you used the word adopted. I don't think you used that word.
Okay.
I don't recall you.
I must have told the deep story of I've never actually met my birth parents.
That's what I heard.
The man and the woman that created me, I have never got the chance to meet, unfortunately. And my mother, Thelma Louise Haskins, is her name on my birth certificate. She gave me to her dealer, and he gave me to his girlfriend at the time, who I know as mom, who I know as my mama. Shout out to Benita Hodge, who raised me and brought me up, and who I love and I appreciate so much.
That's what you told me.
Yeah.
I mean, just flat out. And I remember sitting there. I remember it being in my office at Evolution, thinking, what? I mean, at first I kind of didn't even know. I didn't challenge you on it, but I didn't. That was a lot. Yeah, that was a lot. Yeah.
And so she asked you this, and you volunteered. So he hits you with that. What impact did that have on you, in your position? Because I know that wasn't what you were expecting.
That was not what I was expecting. And I again, there were two sides. Part of me was like, could that be true? Yeah. But then the other part of me, I mean, we had a great relationship, and you had no need to lie. Right. And so I just had to give you even more respect, because again, you were coming to school every single day, living on your own at 16, 17 years old. And I think you told me quite a few stories about your life. And so I really had to just respect you as a person. I mean, and so I think that that's a thing that maybe educators maybe could learn is you have to respect the kids and respect their journey and the things that they bring to the campus, because everybody's not coming from the same household. True. I think you told me, I remember you coming to my house one time, we had fruit on the table and you were like, is that real fruit? y'all just leave fruit sitting on the table? And I was like, yeah. And you're like, you just leave it there, y'all just eat it? I'm like,
and I appreciate your love, and it's crazy because now you come to my house, we have fruit. And on the kitchen island. And another thing is that I've never met my birth parents. I've never met any of my blood family. I did meet my brother one time at Thelma Louise Haskins' funeral. And I didn't keep in contact with him. But what I was saying is, like, you becoming my aunt, even though I've never met my family, even though I've never met my relatives, I've never been without family in my entire life. You know what I mean? I've always had an aunt, an uncle, a brother, and you know what I mean? I've always had good people. My mom, I've always had good people, loving people, and my mom's family. You know what I mean? My grandma, my wife's family now. You know what I mean? Then you know what I mean? So I've always had good people surrounding me. And even though my first relatives that I've actually had a relationship with is my 3 children, so
I'm going to say this, and, this takes your show in a different direction, but there's a scripture that says a brother is born of adversity. And so the people that you surrounded yourself with, you guys went through some stuff together, even just the people I knew from Evolution. Yeah. I mean, y'all went through some stuff together, and what I call it North Oak Cliff. What do you call it? I don't North Dallas, Skillman, all did. I mean, it I don't know how it is now, but back then it was
still like that. Rough.
It was, and so you weren't raised in the church, but clearly you must have understood or tapped into something that you caught a hold of that really. Talk to me about your spiritual life. Talk to me about your feelings in reference to.
I appreciate every religion and their knowledge and which aspect they look at it. And I appreciate you, now that I look back on it, because you took me and Shamisha, my wife now, was my baby. We was on our way to having our first child, and you would pick us up and take us to church. And this is me after high school, like as an 18-year-old, still a kid. This is me, this is still in my developing stages. You know what I mean? So you taking me to church, taking us to dinner. She said today, Marlon's the first person took us to La Madeline. And I was like, yeah, she was. I remember that. And it's this country club that we went to with your mom and your dad. And we live out that way now. Where the people with good jobs and good money live. And we was driving through there on the way back to Dallas the other day. She was like, I think that country club is over here. I'm like, yeah. So me just thinking about it, I went to church a few times as a child, where you don't know.
It seems like I remember you saying you had a teacher named Miss Haskins.
Yep, was another lady. Yep, and when I was in the 9th grade, Mrs. Haskins was a great teacher who they sent me. She was like a helper. She wasn't even a teacher then. She was to help the kids who were struggling with their grades. And I went there. She was like, "You don't need help. You're a smart kid, right? And you're not just doing the work." And I was like, "Yeah." And I built a relationship with her. She taught me how to drive. She tried to teach me how to drive. She gave me a few lessons. And yeah, it was always a lady, someone who just showed me love. You know what I mean? Which which is in my eyes is God.
I was sitting here thinking, I'm looking at this
Yeah.
LOVE back here,
Yeah.
and we're in Love. What
Mhm.
studios? Love
Love
Deposit
Deposit.
Studios.
Yeah.
God is love.
Yeah,
Like
God
that's
is
it. If
love.
you want to be like
Yeah.
who, yeah.
Yeah.
And you're doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's what. And yeah, that was, man, my story is deep.
It is so deep. It is so deep.
Man, it is.
And so I remember Shamisha came, you were already together
Mhm.
in the 11th grade, but she stayed at the other.
She was still at Lake Highlands.
She was still at Lake Highlands.
Uh-huh.
You came to Evolution, but y'all stayed together.
Mhm.
And I was like, sure, you gonna keep this pretty girl is gonna
Right.
wait a minute. She actually likes
Yeah.
yeah, okay. But
Yeah.
some kind of way
Yeah.
you were able to, and so now you all have been married how long?
5 years on May 23rd.
Y'all been together how long? Since high school.
17.
17
I'm
years.
gonna be 35. Yeah.
How many kids?
Three young men, Trey, Kingston, and Alexander. Oh man, it's
And like, I know this is y'all's show.
No, go
Okay.
ahead, JoJo.
He brought his sons in one day.
Mhm.
And you know, I met Feezi on a Love Deposit journey. We bonded, and
Yeah.
you know, I know parts of his story. He was
Mhm.
open and he shared,
Mhm.
but he don't know the impact that he had on me sitting here watching
Mhm.
him with his wife, the 3 boys, and we
Mhm.
actually told we were calling each other brothers. So the youngest thought we were actually brothers.
Mhm.
So he was like, "Daddy, did you grow up together?" He had all these questions,
Mhm.
but in his mind, he couldn't fathom, you know,
Mhm.
that you have a brother that we hadn't met, and it was a direct. So I was just telling him like it was a direct reflection of the family structure to go from being adopted, not knowing who your family is, but valuing that and giving your kids that, breaking those curses, breaking choices.
Beautiful.
Like, it was just so touching. So even with this right here, for
Mhm.
you to sit down and to make him dig, because he's having to.
Yeah.
I think this is the perfect person to interview.
Exactly.
Because she's making you have to dig, but I'm just, you know, I'll go on and on, but man, I'm appreciating this.
Yeah, like he couldn't.
And your wife said we've been married since 2014, sir. So that's 8 years.
Fix yourself.
Yeah.
You gotta go home.
I cut a short 3.
So look, what's the anniversary date?
It's May 23rd. I know that.
Okay.
But yeah, sure. I don't know. We've been locked in since I met her. And what's crazy, when I met her in school, I used to call her baby mama.
Oh.
When I was 17 years old, and she was already my baby mama. So that's how deep your mind is, guys. That's how valuable and how great your mind is. You can think something, you can think yourself right into something, wherever you're trying to go. But yeah, my son Trey, you know, and I think about other people's relationship in their life, like they'll have a brother over here and a sister here, and they live in the house with their mom and dad. But you know what I mean? So my 3-year-old, my 5-year-old, Trey couldn't just fathom somebody being my brother that he hasn't met, because his brothers are right there with him every day and helping them. And
so he's gonna grow up to understand that brother is more of a universal term. Yeah, he
couldn't think of it. Like, this your brother? Give him a hug. Like, I don't sure, like, how's this your brother? Yeah, that was.
So you've always been a lover of words. I remember you would write rhymes and things, and you bring them in. I would read over them. Talk to me about where that started. Like, this is perfect. Like, not only are you, you know, it's not just rhymes, not just raps, it's just talking. I mean, you have always been a logo file.
Where did it start? I don't know. I mean, I guess just being a value, a trait that I have. I remember winning a Martin Luther King writing contest when I was in the 5th grade.
You told me about that.
And I was in the parade, and I had a float, and I spoke it. I got to deliver it at the Martin Luther King Recreation Center in South Dallas, and So that's when I figured out that I had it. I honestly don't know. But you know, in the third grade, one of the things on the toss test was an essay. So I remember having it from as far back as I can remember. But when I won that contest and I was in the parade, that did make me realize that, like, man, I'm great with words. I'm good with words. And at that same time is when I started just rhyming and writing down raps and you know,
and you don't just use regular words. A lot of times you go deep.
I'm very deep.
Yeah.
I'm very
Your word
Lifetimes of
choice.
Feezi is available on iTunes, Apple Music, anywhere you can find music. You can find BearFeezie, Volume 2, Picasso, if you ever want to listen to any of my music. But I've been great with words, and I figured out when I was in junior high, like I heard of Tupac, I had heard of him, but I was listening to Jay-Z. And I'm gonna tell on myself a little bit. It was a stolen car that somebody had brought to the hood, to the apartments where I live, and folks were just getting what they wanted. And I stole the CD changer out. I took the CD changer out of it. Somebody had already stolen it. I didn't steal.
He did not steal the car.
I did not hop in them folks' car and drive off. It was over there. I took the CD changer out of it. And Jay-Z, the blueprint was in it. Cameron, Take Me Home or Come Home With Me. It was something like that. It had that, oh boy. It had that track on there. And a couple more Jay-Z albums was in there. And I listened to the Jay-Z album. I was already rapping, but at that time I was just putting words together. I was just rhyming. And I listened to the Jay-Z album. I'm like, damn. I'm like, this is life. You know, he's telling his story. Mm-hmm. And so that's, at that point, I realized I can use music to tell my story. I can use these words to tell what I've been through, what I've been going through. I don't have to just rhyme and just say anything. Or at that point in the like 7th, 8th grade, when I heard that Jay-Z album, I'm like, dang, this is what he's been living. This is his life. And that's when I started putting my words. I'm expressing the life and times of Feezi.
Of Feezi.
Yeah.
Of Haskins.
Of Haskins. Of Haitian.
My kid's like, I thought it was Heishan. I said, no, it's Haitian.
You know what? I used to tell people it was Heishan. It makes it sound more ethical.
It does.
You know, everybody's a Sean, a Deshaun, a Keyshawn. Yeah, it's all.
But it's Haitian.
It's Haitian.
It's Haitian.
It is Haitian. One of a kind.
Do you know that you were, speaking of one of a kind, you remember the chocolate shop?
Yeah. I was talking to Misha, yes.
You were my one of a kind employee. Me and my cousin Rachel had a chocolate shop.
Yes.
Rachel.
I was trying to think of what was her name. Rachel, yeah.
Had a chocolate shop in Stonebriar Mall. Yeah. And this was Employee of the Month every month.
Yeah. And that was my first job. It was my first commitment. You were the perfect. You've been looking out for me on Marley's. Appreciate you, bro.
I appreciate you. We've been calling each other bro.
We started that because we was calling it. She was being relatable to the kids at her school, and that's what we used to call each other. She's like, "What's up, bro?" And so ever since then, but yeah, you gave me my first job. You believed in me,
and you were good.
I wasn't that good.
I thought you were.
But
see, I think maybe that's part of the reason why I work well with kids, because I have that. I have kind of that rough. He's so great. He's so awesome. Everybody's like, he's awful. He's the worst.
You know what? Because you brought in somebody else and they fired me. You brought in. He was like
from
the franchise.
Oh, Lord, yeah.
He was from the franchise. And he was like, you know what? You don't really want to do this, do you? I was like, and he was like, and then
he must not have known how hard it was to get employed. It was hard to get employees, and that place was going down fast. And my husband, who's sitting over here, shout out to my husband, was like, God's gonna make a way of escape. We had to let that mess go. That was killing us. That was horrible.
I I was probably part of the reason.
No, I
It was-
wouldn't. It was
But
rough.
no,
That,
I
that
didn't
place
have-
is expensive.
I was telling my wife, I was like, man, I could have did a better job because I understand sales now. I understand how you have to speak to people, and back then I was them trenches were still in me, and my mug was first. You know what I mean? And a Caucasian person had to smile at me for me to smile at them. You know what I mean? It was different. Now I'm different now. I'm blessed. Now.
You are blessed.
I'm favorite, and I can tell, and I appreciate it now, and I'm shining my light on the people.
So I don't know how much time we have, but I have one last question. It's
Okay.
a good one.
Okay.
Okay, so I'll get this one to JoJo too.
Okay.
Y'all are millennials. And millennials get a lot of negative press about they do. Like millennials get negative press for kind of being into themselves and social media and not really
a lot of selfies, a lot of pictures of me. Yeah, this probably is the most.
And not just getting in the norm, like getting in the box, just kind of doing their own thing and not just this job ain't working for me. I'm gonna quit.
Facts.
Real facts. Yeah. Talk to me about millennials. Talk to me about, is any of that stuff true? Like, how does that?
It is true. I'll tell you why.
Okay.
This device.
Yeah.
This device is so powerful.
It is powerful.
You don't need an encyclopedia. You don't need a dictionary anymore. Yeah. You don't need college anymore. Mm-hmm. Go to YouTube University. You know what I mean? And you can.
Did we have cell phones when you were in high school?
They didn't do all this. They had Snake when we were in school. Our phones
Flip phones.
Yeah, our phones had Snake and inbound and outbound and text messages where you had to not a keypad, but you had to press the number three times to get to see.
And it was expensive. Like
you had minutes.
Yeah.
You had minutes,
So that group has gone up. Y'all millennials have grown up, and now y'all have this in y'all's hand.
This and information is so available. You know what I mean? Ways to make money, information is just available. And you know what I mean? And it's in our hands, and a lot of times it's too much information. You see all these people doing all this, and you know what I mean? And you want to look like those people sometimes. You know what I mean? Like, there's reason we want to dress so well. If I don't have Jay-Z money, can I look like Jay-Z? You know, if I don't have P. Diddy money, can I go on a trip for a weekend and be on a boat like P. Diddy and just show that part? You know what I mean? So,
but see, that's what people accuse millennials of. Yeah. Just want to front, want to stunt.
That's it. And you know what I mean? And sometimes, I'm a victim.
Are you a victim?
I'm a victim, man. I haven't bought any shoes in 2022, by the way. I have not bought any shoes in 2022. See,
I think you're kind of logical. I think you seem kind of grounded. Like you don't seem to be.
Hey, I'm always growing. You know what I mean? I'm always trying to grow. What you think, JoJo?
I think what she said from her assessment may be accurate.
Yeah.
Just let her give you that because you are logical.
Yeah.
So when it comes to that, grounded. But what else do they say about us old millennials?
Well, again, like I said about jobs, millennials, but again, I'm that person who's kind of.
Yeah.
You guys won't just go take a job at the post office or UPS or just go somewhere and sit out. Y'all are always dreaming and always kind of like, I think let's do something, which is good.
It's great.
But then your kids need food, it's where's the balance?
And a part of that,
they're not practical. We're the generation that wasn't practical. The generation that was raised off of Sweet 16 birthdays. Or then you get to a certain age and you expect that it was that detachment from because now coming up and once upon a time when we were younger, to be famous you actually had to have a talent.
There's that, and then
like if you were on the television 9 times out of 10 you were casted for a role, you had
Mm-hmm.
some type of talent, you were more than likely. Now, you don't even need television.
Right.
Instagram. So you got people being famous for stupidity,
right,
for committing crimes, So I do think, to bring it back when you say that grounded, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're not grounded, not practical.
And then we've seen a lot. You know what I mean? We've seen struggle. We've seen our parents go to work every day and still be unhappy. We've seen our parents have this committed job for 20 or 30 years, but we still didn't have the stuff that we want. You know what I mean? So we've seen a lot, and we, you know what I mean, we have to dream to be more, to be, you know what I mean? So I think that's a big place, that plays a major part as far as what we've actually experienced. We've seen, you know what I mean? I come from children who've grown up in apartment complexes. And I think that plays a major part when because you don't think it's nothing bigger than your neighborhood. You know what I mean? You don't believe like that little group that you live in or that you've grown up with. That's all you know. Like sometimes I go to South Dallas and West Dallas, even coming on this part of North Dallas. Like I'm lost. You know what I mean? I don't know what's going on. And that's because we're sheltered, but in this little hood. You know what I mean? It's not even a neighborhood because nothing is neighboring about it. So I think that plays a major part because we've watched television, the information, the stuff we've seen now on our phones. We just want so much. You know what I mean? We have high expectations of our life, but how do you get there? You know what I mean? How do you, so acting out on social media, like JoJo said, you used to have a talent, but now all you need is a lot of views.
yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's
that's a big responsibility to people like you, people like JoJo, content creators who are out here
trying to be the light, trying to shed positivity, trying to shed God, trying to shed love, but I want to see somebody fight. I don't know. I want to see somebody cussing.
Yeah.
I want to see some.
How do you break through that noise with some positive stuff? Yeah. Like, how do you do that?
About being consistent.
Yeah.
That's it. Not worried about that.
Right.
Just being consistent. It's like knocking down a tree. And
right.
People that are searching and people that are looking for it, they find it.
Right.
And it slowly builds. And that's what it is. But you just do it by being consistent.
True.
And being intentional about the work.
And I think that's what you've done. Absolutely. From Evolution Academy to this moment in time, you have been consistent about your spoken word.
Facts. I've been comfortable in my lane. That I've been comfortable. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Marlis. That's what I want to say. And we can open the phone lines up too, JoJo.
I didn't know we had phone lines.
We do have phone lines.
Oh my goodness. Is that a thing?
It's always been set up, but I'll make sure. You have to be comfortable in being yourself. You have to, first of all, love yourself. Before you can love your child, before you can love your mate, before you can love your child, your mom, your aunt, your cousin, your best friend, or you can love what you're doing, or you can love anything else. You have to be comfortable and love yourself. Appreciate yourself. And before you can do that, you have to find out who you are. You don't know yourself if you've been following somebody trying to be like them. You don't know yourself if all you can see is what other people doing as you scroll down your timeline.
Right.
You don't know yourself if you putting other people's voice. As soon as you wake up, you turn on Young Boy. You listen to him for 3 hours. Then you scroll. Then you watch you don't know who you are. You can't even listen to yourself.
And to me, I think maybe the fun part about me and you is you have to open yourself up to some new relationships.
True.
So if you had been like, I didn't like my old principal and I ain't gonna like you.
Yeah.
And if I had been like, man, these kids are bad, you know, we never would have clicked. And
That's
so
true.
you have to really be those people who open yourselves up to new relationships and give people a chance.
Right.
Yeah.
Especially if you're looking for something. Because, you know what I mean? I figured that out. We're all needing something. You know what I mean? We're all in search of that success. You know what I mean? That, you know what I mean? Whatever that means to you, we're all in search of it. And so to get there, know who you are. Once you find out who you are, love that person. Show them love. Show them some time.
And then turn around and help somebody else.
Yeah. And by doing that, we've helped the world. You know what I mean? Each one teach one. So we have to continue to do that and grow into that and be proud of that. So yeah, that's what I've done on this journey with my family.
To be BearFeezie, not Haskins.
I'm still Haskins.
You're still Haskins.
I've created a little team of Haskins.
You have. They're so cute.
Yeah, they are. They keep me driving, keep me growing. But yeah, I've created this. I don't think it's created. The world has created this guy. I just, I got this name from people who've been around me. You know what I mean? So I've just coined it, and I'm monetizing it. To the best of my ability.
Okay, so how are you feeling right now? Because she has stirred up some things I think maybe made you reflect.
Right.
And right now, in the moment, how are you feeling right now?
I'm feeling appreciative. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling great. And I'm feeling inspired. That I've always, you start running. You don't, you know what I mean? You never know where you are on that run. You know what I mean? You don't know when that jog is going to end. You just know you got to keep going. So I feel great at this water stop, and someone's been like, great runner. You know what I mean? Like, you've went pretty far. I feel like on Forrest Gump, when he just started running and he looked around, he stopped at the gas station and folks had his little mud face on their shirt. You know what I mean? Like, man, I'm just running. You know what I mean? I'm just doing me. And, I feel, a lot of times you get on this damn phone and somebody got a big ass rope on their neck. And they on a yacht and they got a foreign brand on their body. Like, damn, I ain't there. You know what I mean? But I am there. You know what I mean? And I'm appreciative. Like I've always been of my Marlis, but I feel inspired to
run your race.
Yeah,
to run your race and raise your kids and do your thing.
Yes.
Yeah, that's all that is.
I feel appreciative and inspired to just keep being Haskins, keep being Haitian, keep being BearFeezie. You know what I mean? And I appreciate being able to speak my feelings. I'm tired of interviewing folks. No, I'm just playing. I love y'all, man. But I appreciate being interviewed and to get, tell my story.
It is a fascinating story.
And I appreciate
and there's more to it.
Yeah. It's just a little middle chapter.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And I appreciate you answering and being available because my next call was Lil Will. Mr. My Dougie himself, it was gonna be a totally different show if I would have.
He was good in school too, though.
Yeah,
he always used to walk around with a book. He was smart. I like that. Yeah, he did.
Yeah, Will was a very educated guy. Mm-hmm. It would have been a totally different show if Will would have been on here though. It would have been some cussing and some ratchetness.
No,
I think this was exactly what's needed.
No, for real. No, I seriously appreciate my aunt coming through and having me open up and reflect, man. We need, and this is much needed. You know what I mean? Like you say on Marlis, we have to surround ourselves with people who are gonna pull you up, lift you up with words. If they have a business, they can give you a job.
Mm-hmm.
if they have a school or some knowledge, they can educate you. You're a good friend.
You're a good friend.
What? You're a good friend.
You're a good
Omar.
nephew.
You put me to work. You know what I mean? When I needed it most. You know what I mean? Showed me your home, took me to restaurants I had not been to. Just showed me love. You know what I mean? And that's what you. God, this interview is not over. I have some information.
What is it?
I'm about to become a substitute teacher.
No.
Yes, ma'am. I went.
In what school district? Don't say it.
They love me. They love me. I went to my middle son. My middle son, Kingston, he had the science camp, and I wasn't gonna go at first.
My daughter is getting ready to be a teacher.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna go, and they signed. They needed more men. They were like, because it's a boys' cabin and women's cabin.
Mhm.
They needed more men, so she called me. She's like, "We really need you. I love Kingston. I think you'll be a good." She probably was just buttering me up, make sure I went. But I went.
Mm-hmm.
Time of my life, man. I've never been out in nature like that. I had more fun than the kids. They couldn't understand what they were giving them. Maybe they did. But men in the day were like, have you ever thought about being a teacher? You're so great with the boys. You're this. And
Is that why you were saying you need your transcript?
and I called Evolution. I got my transcript.
So you become a teacher and then a principal.
Tell them. I've been telling my family, I'm like, this is just the beginning. I'm gonna be a principal.
Superintendent of schools.
Yeah, you know, so
I love it.
I just did my fingerprints. They emailed me before I came here.
Everything was okay.
Everything is. I'm in
We
there
got everything
like
cleaned up.
swimwear.
All right.
And I should be in someone's class next week.
I need to come visit.
I should be in.
That
This
warms
just
my
and this is
heart.
gonna motivate me to get my hours, become a certified teacher. And in the next couple of years,
I love it.
I'm gonna be principal.
I love it.
Haskins.
I love it.
Yeah,
I
I'm gonna
love
be.
it.
I see it. Give me about. I don't know how long.
Next
it takes.
lifetime.
give me about.
I guess
about
I'll see
three.
you next lifetime.
Give me about 3 or 4, man. I don't. You know, if I don't become a millionaire before then,
Then he's gonna be a
then I'm
principal.
gonna be a principal, man. I can see it. I can see it either way. You know, I can see it either way, man. Yeah, I'm gonna be in somebody's classroom next week. Next few years, I'm gonna be on the wall at someone's school. You know what I mean? Square biz, man. I'm the one, guys.
Yeah.
I told y'all been waiting to meet this guy. You know, so
I'm so proud of you.
thank you. I appreciate you so much, Morales. Any closing remarks? I know you got us. Any closing remarks? Any JoJo?
I just think that this was needed. I want to say thank you. I appreciate you for. And I don't have a mic, so I'm going in and out on the audio, man.
Oh,
Now you're gonna
okay.
be mad at it.
Okay.
But I just want to say thank you, and I think that that this is some fuel. When you were saying how you feel, I really think that you fueled him with your personality, your energy, you and your husband.
Yeah.
I want to say thank you. And Feezi, just keep with the good, positive message, content.
Yes, sir. It's
practicality,
hard.
the stuff that's needed, because this right here, what I'm hearing, is the epitome of love deposits.
Amen.
Love lasts a lifetime. So this
Amen.
impact, like, it's just beautiful.
I appreciate it.
Good stuff.
Marlis, got anything to say? Okay.
I love you, bro.
I love you too. Love you too, Annie. Guys, this is gonna wrap up, man. Episode 9 of season 2. Speak Your Feelings with BearFeezie. I'm gonna come back next week and do a recap of my shows, and different feelings, different things that I want to talk about, what I've been talking about this season. One thing I want to end on is I feel like I'm the one. I feel like I'm the guy. I feel like I'm a great guy. But more importantly, guys, I'm broken too. I'm lacking in areas too. It's some stuff that I need to step up in. I'm hurt. I'm battling my own battles. I am you. So don't think you gotta be have it all together, you're not gonna get it all together. I am you, guys. So whatever you want to do, just do it. You know what I mean? Just do it. And don't you stop doing it until it's what you thought it was gonna be. You know what I mean? So if you want to get in this light, you know what I mean, you want to look handsome behind these lights, come to Love Deposit Studios, man, and get in my brother Uncle Jojo. And hopefully you got some that can be a part of the Love Deposit brand, and it can help the people grow and lift up the community. You know what I mean? And book you an hour or two. And you know what I mean? Let's spread love through the world. You know what I mean? The reason I come up here every Wednesday, the reason I'm happy this is my best day of the week is because I want to be here for you. I honestly feel like for us to come out of this position that we in, we have to be here for each other. And with that being said, this is it, guys. Speak Your Feelings with BearFeezie. I'm your host, BearFeezie. This is my aunt, Marlis, my principal from high school. How successful am I? I got my principal to come help me tell my story, guys. I appreciate you, Marlis. Hey, man, we're going to end it. Peace.
You don't be ready to end.
I don't.
You
Man.
need a song. You need like music.